The only real arbiter, as far as I'm concerned, of whether or not a product works is it making you sales? Is it making you money specifically? Not sales. Is it making you money? Because you could sell, I don't know, this shower head here at 60 bucks. You could sell that at cost price and it would make you sales, but that's not really good for anything other than just getting rank. So the real arbiter is, does it make you profit? Does it make you money? That's the only arbiter that matters when it comes to building a business. So that's how I judge them, Dave. Now, there are a couple of nuances to that, because you, first and foremost, you have to give your product the opportunity to make you money. You have to give it the chance to do that. If you have just listed your product on Amazon and it's nowhere, you've got 1,000 competing results here for this particular product, but if your product is way back on page 2, for instance, which is weirdly way back, so if it's way back here, then it's going to be difficult for you to make sales. That's going to be difficult for you to do, okay? So you have to give your product the opportunity to make you sales. And for me, more often than not, there is really no such thing as a dud product. What there is instead is lack of due diligence on the front end of the product. Lack of due diligence on the front end of the product, and or an incomplete or a poorly done launch strategy for the product. So that's the two reasons I have found that products generally fail on Amazon. Now, there are some outliers to that. There are, of course, some outliers to that. But if you've done your due diligence and understood who you're going to be selling to, what search terms to get onto page 1 for, what pricing you can go in at, and you've done the research on your product and your supplier to get a product that fits that particular need, and then you have launched the product or listed and launched the product onto Amazon properly, as I teach you, there's really no good reason why it won't work. If you have followed my instructions and done what I told you to do, there's really no good reason it wouldn't work and you come back with a dud. So always, step 1 is revisit your strategy. Look at what you're selling, look at who you're trying to sell it to, and make sure that what you're trying to sell suits who you're trying to sell it to. Suits who you're trying to sell it to. These are a classic example. So we've just purchased an apartment here in Lisbon, right in the middle of the city, and Natasha is like a pig in shit going through the process of fitting out the apartment and renovating it, and there's builders in there and all this kind of craziness, okay? So she has been looking for, of all things, shower heads and new showers and things like that. So this is a market that I'm acutely, at least intimately aware of right now. And what suits her will not suit somebody else, because she is sorting for a different set of things. So more often than not, you've got to do your research to understand who is your customer. That's the most important thing. Getting reviews and launching your product and getting it onto page 1, position 1 for the right keyword is very, very important, David. It's very, very important to get it on for the right keyword. And here's what I mean by that. So I have searched for a handheld shower with extra long hose. Now, if I have optimized for that keyword, and actually what I sell is not a handheld shower, or it doesn't have an extra long, like here's one for instance. So that is a dog shower. Why is that on page 1 of that search? Well, my guess is they messed up their launch. They're trying to rank their product for something it shouldn't be ranking for, all right? I mean, that's a classic example. So you've got to do your due diligence up front. Given that you do all those things, there's no good reason why it won't. But if you do find yourself in a situation where you believe you've got a dud, then you've got to liquidate your stock, get out of it as quickly as possible. Best way of doing that in Australia is eBay and Catch of the Day. I have found they are the two best places to liquidate stock. eBay, Catch of the Day, sell it as a job lot if you can on eBay. That, as I've found, is the best way to get yourself out of a niche really, really quickly, Dave. Hope that makes sense. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.